has your cup of tea. One of the interesting points to mention, first of all, is the very notion of tea culture. It does pervade the world, and there is no culture around the world that does not use tea in one form or another. I mean, not that Camellia sinensis, the tea plant itself, is native to the world, but read your history books, going back hundreds of years when traders first started to go to Europe, started to go to South America, indeed even into North America. Amongst the first commodities that were traded were blocks of tea. And England has a long history of tea use. That came as a result of their exploration of the world. You know, the Japanese have tea ceremonies, which are wonderful to watch. Russia starts the day with a glass of tea, not a cup of tea, but a glass of tea. And it's everywhere. You know, even the large corporate entities in the world have noticed this. Pepsi, in fact, has started to invest in tea-based drinks. Starbucks, back in 2012, bought the tea company Teavana to tap into the global market for tea, because it's estimated that tea around the world is a $90 billion a year business. So Infinitus looked back through Chinese culture and found that in China, tea is considered to be more than just a drink. You know, tea culture is synonymous with Chinese wisdom, Chinese art, and the pursuit of the good life. This is a 1,000-year-old tradition. It goes back a very long way. Not just the tea itself, but tea blended with other ingredients such as a tangerine peel that we have in our product. So flavor is one thing. It's always good to have. A relaxing cup of tea, also good to have throughout the day. But when there are health benefits to be derived from this, even better. You know, it makes a powerful presentation when you're talking to people. Fortunately, there's very little bad about tea of any kind. You know, Camellia sinensis has been reviewed by everybody. And you've seen the way it works around the world. Things come and go from medical fashion. One day, eggs are wonderful. The next day, they're terrible for you. Then they become rehabilitated. You know, eggs come back into fashion. They won't kill you. They will kill you. They'll only cause you to go deaf. They won't cause you to go deaf. And then the world of science turns its attention to red meat and says, yeah, it's good for you. You know, great source of protein. Then it says, don't eat red meat. It's like eating eggs. You know, there's always something that's going to be bad about whatever it is you're interested in. But take a look at tea. Nobody has ever really had anything bad to say about it. There's always a benefit to report. There's always a high margin of safety. You know, elderly people can drink tea. You know, people who are ill can drink tea. Pregnant women, no problem. Children, no problem. You know, tea is good for everybody. So what do we have for offer here? Going back historically, our history books say that the Qing Emperor Qianlong often bestowed gifts of premium pu'er tea on foreign dignitaries. It was reserved for the elite of society that went to hold discussions with the emperor. Indeed, the last emperor, Pu Yi, once even said pu'er tea is a symbol of the privileged existence. Easy to say when you're an emperor, I guess, but you know, there are benefits that survive royalty. They are available to everybody. The interesting part about our tea specifically is that it is not just Camellia sinensis. Remember, you can get Camellia anywhere. You know, it's the tea bag in the supermarket. It's the tea that you buy in a coffee shop. You know, the common tea is really just Camellia sinensis with no extraordinary treatment. We have quite a bit of difference, however. Now, in China, there is a classification body for tea. And in order to be classified as proper pu'er black tea, we're talking only about tea that originates in Yunnan province. So we're looking at very specific conditions of climate. We're looking at very specific conditions of soil. And even then, it's only the large leaf blade that is produced. I mean, most people have seen images or short films of tea plantations. And in these videos, you can see that tea plantations are planted very densely. It's very difficult to walk between rows of tea. Pickers carry baskets on their backs, and they're always plucking leaves from the plant. Well, it depends on what leaf you're picking. Remember, plants grow at different rates. The actively growing leaves are the ones that are harvested here, and so only the large leaf tea from Yunnan is classified or has the possibility to be classified as Pu'er tea. Remember, it starts as tea. It takes 10 years to turn it into Pu'er tea. We're looking here at a tea that is grown at altitudes over 1,500 meters, so quite a bit high above sea level. We're talking about 5,000 feet plus. For us in North America, we're looking at tea that grows at Denver, Colorado, and above. It's a mountain species. The average temperature throughout the year is about 21 degrees Celsius. That's approximately 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And under conditions like this, specifically in Yunnan, some of these tea trees grow to be 100 years old, and they can be as high as 50 feet tall. These tea bushes themselves, or trees as they can become, can be difficult to harvest. Now, instead of just working at ground level, here we are working with leaves growing that high in the tree. As mentioned, only leaves with two blades on a single bud are harvested when they have achieved their perceived peak of maturity and nutrient value. And this goes with experience. It takes hundreds of years for a culture to recognize which tea leaves are specifically the best for their purpose. And of course, because Infinitus controls the plantations, educates the growers, works with every step of the process, we know that we're getting the legitimate item. This is not a tea that is just called Pu'er tea. It is the genuine Pu'er tea. Then they work to flavor it. Here, because there's combination with the tangerine peel, it is not just the tea. But the Chinese have a proverb that says, dried tangerine peel is worth its weight in gold. Well, China has exported dried tangerine peel to the rest of the world for more than 1,000 years. In fact, the Chinese Empress Cixi declared it as her official royal tribute for visiting dignitaries. How do we then identify the finest quality tangerine peel? Well, the best tangerine peel hails from the city of Xinhui, which is in Guangdong province. And I do apologize in advance if any of my pronunciations are incorrect. I do not mean any disrespect. These specific tangerines come from a district so small that is contained within the city. And this specific tangerine peel is renowned for assisting digestion. It's prepared in a very specific manner. It's just not the peel itself, but they put it through a 40-minute alternating process. They take the peels that have been selected for their quality, and then they repeatedly steam them for 40 minutes and dry them for 40 minutes, which brings out the maximum flavor and potency. So here we have what is ideal both inside and out. The finest dried tangerine peel is dark red or brownish red inside with a darker exterior. Its flavor is a little bit aromatic, mellow without being sour. So these are then combined into making our dried tangerine peel Pu'er tea. Now, remember, we're starting with select Pu'er tea, very carefully selected and processed tangerine peel, and we're using this unique treatment of the products and its ingredients to arrive at the product that we now have in front of us. Remember, the special feature regarding Pu'er tea is its fermentation. 10 years are involved from the time of harvest until the time of incorporation into the product. Along the way, it is being fermented by the Aspergillus species found in Yunnan, and this is what brings out the characteristics. The specific characteristic is that it aids digestion. And how does it go about this? Well, here we're looking at this unique product which retains its key antioxidants. And antioxidants come in a number of forms. Most people who've been in the health trade for many years acknowledge that things like vitamin C and vitamin E are antioxidants. The mineral selenium is an antioxidant. But there have been questions raised throughout time which have looked at these basic antioxidants and have asked the question, are high concentrations of these good or bad for people? And a lot of people are in fact familiar with a study that's very well known that said in smokers, if you take too much vitamin C or vitamin E or selenium, it is in fact making a smoker's health worse. So of course, the medium pounced on this study and said, oh, well, there's nothing to antioxidants, take too much and it's bad for you. Well, further scientific studies have shown that that's not the case. What has been determined in the last 20 or 25 years is that it's a matter of optimizing your daily antioxidant profile. So not just the simple vitamins C and E, not just the mineral selenium. Here we're talking about a biological entity, the tea leaf itself, that contains phenols. It contains flavonols. It contains other complex molecules that function as antioxidants within the human body and presents a wide array of these molecules to the body. So they're not so easily deactivated. They offer enduring benefits, and part of the key to contributing to anyone's health is a much stronger antioxidant profile than they would have in the absence of these products. So if we look at tea in general, the usual method of preparation is to boil water, put in the tea, and the hot temperature, even over the course of 5 minutes steeping, will often destroy many of the nutrients found in the tea leaves. With our product, the dried tangerine peel Pu'er Tea, remember, we're talking about tea that is now processed under vacuum freeze-dry process conditions, so the temperatures are very low. That's what forms the easily soluble powder. The pressure involved in this is very gentle, so low temperatures, low pressure. This avoids the oxidation of the key ingredients, and it preserves the tea's unique nutrient profile. It also makes the flavor a fair bit better. When we look at these, what you're going to see is that in terms of the traditional Chinese medicinal paradigm, the explanation of Pu'er Tea is that it reduces or eliminates stagnant phlegm. Now, what does that mean in Western society? Really what it means is it's clearing the circulatory system of cholesterol and reducing blood fats. And it's doing so by virtue of its being an antioxidant. So what we have here is a product that is clearing or cleansing the blood system. And along the way, because there's so much blood flow through the stomach, through the liver, through the rest of the circulatory system, we are enhancing digestion. If you eat a fatty meal, combine that with a cup or two of Pu'er Tea, you're going to find that you're not going to feel bloated, you're not going to feel sluggish, you're going to assist your digestion considerably. This is a product you take every day. The Pu'er Tea is particularly gentle on your stomach, very gentle on the rest of your system. You take it every day, and the benefits accumulate gradually. Once you get into the habit of taking this, it just becomes part of your life. Some people are reporting that they're losing weight, which is a primary benefit of better digestion. Some people are saying they get a little bit more energy. It means that they're using their food, nutrients in a better fashion, and it's a subtle effect. That's what goes on with Pu'er Tea. So again, you're not going to feel anything in the first 5 minutes. Take it every day. The benefits will be long-lasting.